What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to my newest video. As you're going to notice, my account is looking a little different than when I left it last time. What I did is I worked on a few skills before this video, just so I wouldn't have to grind it out while I was recording, and it would already be done for us. I will go into detail why I did everything that I did, and explain it to you guys. So just give me a sec, I'll catch you guys up. So let's get right into it. Alright, so what we've done here is we've headed over to Port Sarim to start on our woodcutting training. To start off, we just grabbed our bronze axe that we received from Turorial Island, and we headed over towards Port Sarim docks because there's not a lot of bots there. That's one thing I've noticed playing on my free-to-play accounts, is it's generally pretty open, not a lot of competition, which makes leveling a lot quicker. So what I did is I just chopped the trees and banked them at the bank deposit box just to the south from level 1 to 15, and then from 15 to 20 I chopped oaks. I forgot that your account either had to have 7 quest points, or I believe it's 8 hours, I'm not exactly sure, but there's amount of hours you have to have played before you can sell the oak logs. So I did that intending to make money off of them, but what I ended up doing was just selling the regular logs. So if you guys want to keep doing those from 15 to 20, feel free. But what I did was the oaks, and I essentially just ended up at level 20, but didn't get as much cash as I could have. Alright, so what this next clip is here is I just wanted to show you guys the path I took to get from Port Sarim up to Varrock, because I forgot that I hadn't showed you guys this far yet. So I thought I would show you the path I took. For those of you that are unfamiliar with the lay of the land, it's kind of an easier way to get there than teleporting to Lumbridge and going north, so that way you can save your home teleport. And then I believe in the end of the clip I also show you where we end up going to train our magic level from 1. I got to about 14, which was pretty solid. I didn't exactly expect to get that far, but the reason we did that is because at level 13 you get Fire Strike, I believe it's called, or Fire. It's the first fire attack, which does the most damage from the first set of spells you can use that use only Mind Runes. And the reason that's important is Mind Runes are insanely cheap. So it's a really cheap way to train your magic XP, and it's pretty fast, like up until you get to the higher levels, like it's pretty solid. So I just wanted to be able to use Fire Strikes, that way when we start making good money, we can just put it all into Mind Runes, Air Runes, and then we'll eventually get a Fire Staff. That'll be the next step, but I just wanted to get the air one first so I could save money on runes throughout this whole process. Also, I just wanted to explain the reasoning. Just from watching, like, you'll see I buy 300 mind runes. Honestly, I haven't calculated anything. When I'm buying this stuff, I just guess, but I do want to leave it up for you guys so you can see exactly what I bought. So if you want to copy me, feel free. If you want to buy more, go ahead. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you guys how much I spend on the stuff, so that'll show you how much you guys need to make. I'm not going to do any extra money making unless I need to, but at that point I'll still be directing you guys on what to do. So just when you see me do something, if you want to just copy it, feel free. If you want to get more, feel even more free. It doesn't really matter too much, just as long as you're kind of meeting the minimums. So what we're doing now is we're attacking these scorpions up from on this cliff here. So that way when we attack them, they can't actually reach us. So we'll be safe the entire time. And with the way magic works, you get XP for each cast you spell, as well as additional XP if you do damage. So since they can't hit us, we can just keep getting XP without having to take damage. And since they have a lot of health, we do get a lot more casts per monster. Since we do hit a lot of zeros at the beginning, but it doesn't really matter too much, since I think I had 315 mind runes or something like that. I was able to get to level 14, which we were aiming for 13, so it's perfect. And you also want to make sure you have auto cast on, so you just go to your combat section, and for spells, you just click I believe it's called Airstrike, and yeah, then you can just click on each scorpion, and it'll attack it without having to go to your magic section and keep clicking the spell and clicking the monster. This last clip here is me just showing you guys how to get to Draenor Village to be able to get the Chronicle. It's a teleportation book that requires no runes to use. You do have to buy the charges for it, but I would say it's definitely worth it, since how much we'll be going back and forth between Varrock and Lumbridge, and then eventually Falador once we start getting to higher level content. So yeah, I highly recommend getting it. It's only a few hundred GP per charge or something. I don't believe I spent too much, but yeah, it's definitely worth it, and it's gonna make us save a lot of time when it comes to travel. Okay, so as you guys will have noticed, we have hit 10 attack, 10 strength, 10 defense. I've also went and got 14 magic and 20 wood cutting. Let's see if I can get rid of that. There we go. And just the reason I got those was magic. We'll be using that to up our combat level and eventually use teleports, which you can see in the magic tab here. They're dark on my screen, but if you're on computer, you'll be able to hover over them. It's mostly these circle ones right here where it says like Lumbridge teleport. They're amazing for getting around. It just makes the game a whole lot easier. And I will be showing you guys how I got this little book, which is another form of teleportation. We'll be using this one really early on because we come back and forth between Varrock and Lumbridge a fair bit, so it saves a lot of running time. So the reason I got 20 wood cutting was for our first form of money making. It's a really good skill to have because it's super AFK, so you can do it once you get to a higher level, and you can do like oak trees and willows. Willows not so much, the logs aren't really worth anything, but oak trees are a really good source of money. And I wanted us to get our starter cash so we could start doing magic and then slowly work our way into ranged once we get a bit better melee gear. So what we're going to move on to next is we are going to be heading back to the Grand Exchange, and we're going to be using a bit of our cash to buy some gear for us, because we're at the point where we can use black armor, but I believe it's a bit more expensive. I will be doing a price check, and we'll be grabbing steel armor just so we can get a few more bonuses and do a bit of a melee money making before we head into killing what will eventually be minotaurs, because we want those iron arrows for free ranged XP. So I'm just going to head to the Grand Exchange right now, grab, I believe I already have my cash stack on me, which I do, so we're just going to show that. And we're going to see how much a steel, we'll see how much a black armor set is. So we want to go to the LG because we are boys, so that stands for legs, and the SK stands for skirt. Yeah, so it's about 10k for a black set. So we'll see what a steel, I actually believe steel might be a bit more expensive. Oops. The chain body's only 200, so we can get steel set, because I know the steel body's high alc for quite a bit. Okay, so it's just over 2,000. So what we'll do is we'll get a steel scimitar, and we can just raise the price in that. Perfect. And then we're gonna get a steel kite shield. We just want the normal one. The other ones are from Clues, so they're a bit more expensive. So this will be awesome because we'll up our damage per second, and we'll get a bit of defense. We'll also grab a steel full helm. We're just going to get as much of the armor as we can. We'll get steel legs. I believe plate legs. Okay, those are getting a bit more expensive. Alright, so those ones didn't buy right away. We'll wait and we'll see what's the last thing we got. I think the steel chain body. Because the plate body is the expensive one. Hopefully it buys. Okay, that's fine. We don't really need too much gear just because we will be fighting weaker things, so we'll go for the plate legs again. Oops. Didn't mean to do those ones. We'll go steel plate legs. And we'll just put the price way up. So we can get something. Perfect. Okay, so we'll throw all this stuff on. And we are going to be heading to the Lumbridge cows. And the reason for this is their cow hides are worth a fair bit of money, and we want to get our strength level up. Because your strength level means you can hit higher. So once our hits are higher, we can kill things faster, and then in turn take less damage. Which while I'm here, I'm going to remind myself to buy some food. So we are just going to go with something cheap. We're going to buy some cooked meat. They're about 41, so we'll buy... We'll get like 5 of them. I don't believe we'll need a ton. If we do, we can start picking up the meat that the cows drop, and then eventually cook those. So we'll take all our meat, And we will bring our Chronicle too. And we're going to head to Lumbridge Cows because we want to get 16 combat level. That will be for when we go to level our fishing. And we just want our strength higher a little bit, so when we go to level the rest of our combat skills, we already have a bit of a head start. So we're going to make money, get our combat level up, and get our strength up. So let's head to Lumbridge. Okay, so we're back at the cow pen, and I'm just going to be leaving on strength. This is where I'm going to end the video, just because the goals I want for you guys to get is I want you guys to get about 15, maybe 20 strength. You guys can go as high as you want. I'll probably go I'll do my strength levels until I hit 16 combat. So I'd like for you guys to do about the same, because then we'll move on to fishing, and then probably we'll get all of our skills started to level. So we'll do fishing, cooking, probably a little bit of fire making, and yeah, we'll go from there. So this is where I'll end it. Good luck to you guys with your grind, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.